Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. We're back here at Teasers in Ogden, Utah's, northern Utah's party spot.
Yeah.
And when we say party spot, this is a place that we have seen so many beatdowns.
Yeah.
I think we might see a couple tonight.
I don't know what's going on with the altitude up here. It's definitely up north because people are high and they fight like there.
No, these guys throw down up here. Your main event, though, Cole Rose and Hank Weiss going to do a kickboxing match. I can't wait for it. Cole Rose has been on a tear lately. You know, Hank Weiss is just Hank Weiss, so I mean, he really needs no introduction.
No, you're absolutely right. Cole Rose is the headhunter. Hank Weiss is the vice. It's going to be the scrap of the century, I think.
All right, we've got lots of fights before we get to that one, but I can't wait for it. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. Got a couple guys coming in here that we have seen before, Drayden Rupe and Chris York. You know a little bit about this kid. Both these guys, they look pretty tough. What do you know about them?
What I do know that Chris York, they call him the Marine. The guy has most of his training in the Marine, street scrapping. He doesn't necessarily have any ground game, so he stays up as much as he can.
He stays up and knocks his opponents down is what he does. And Drayden Rupe's kind of a similar type guy. He's a swinger as well. This should be a fifth supply, and welterweight and holds bar. Check it out.
Not going to have any interviews with either one of these guys. Drayden Rupe not able to make it to the weigh-ins. The guy is a busy man, but coming in here, calls himself Kick-Ass. And this is he's kind of a cool kid, but have you seen the movie, Sal?
I haven't seen the movie, Mike, but I tell you what, if you're going to have a name like Kick-Ass, you better be tougher than nails coming up in this cage.
You better be able to. 6 foot, even 170 pounds is Kick-Ass, going up against a kid that looks like he could kick a little ass.
The Marine. And he's doing it for the boys overseas, I hear, Mikey.
Well, you know, Chris York, he's got a scowl on his face, and he's mad at somebody. I haven't really been able to determine who or why, but 6 foot, 367 pounds is the Marine Chris York, and this ought to be a good one.
This is going to be a real good one, Mike. At 6'3" and 100 and how many pounds did you say?
Well, 6'3" and 167 pounds. That's pretty tall, but you can see right there by the looks of him, he's got muscles where, you know, most of us don't have muscles. Very, very lean. He says he's in great shape with the touch of the gloves, and here we go.
I tell you what, with that height advantage, this would be the perfect weight for the guy.
Oh man, just landed a big right hand right there, and Drayden Rupe was rocked for a minute. Looked like, man, a little topsy-turvy once they hit the ground, but Chris York landing in a very good position here, and oh boy, here come the bombs.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's going on any much longer, Mike.
Oh, Dave Selstead invoking his force right there.
Dave's loves to put his hand on people.
Letting his little 170-pounder know who's the heavyweight in the ring. Apparently, Dave upset about Chris York standing and striking, which is not allowed.
I tell you what, Chris York ain't feeling nothing about that, Mike, because right away he lands a right.
He came and popped him a good one, and Chris York, or Drayden Rupe rather, looks like he's still kind of rocked.
Yeah, he's in la-la land right now, Mike.
He's like, what was I thinking coming up in here?
Yeah, he's about to do the fish dance. I can see it coming right now.
Oh, man, I tell you, Chris York is starting to land these punches very accurately. Another swing, but a miss there from standing.
Bad intentions on that right hand, Mike. Bad intentions.
Drayden Rupe's just getting ragdolled around the cage here.
Hey, he's in it to win it, though. I mean, he's been clocked like 3 or 4 times with some clean punches. He's saying, hey, I may be rocked, but I'm not ready to give up.
You know, he's still coming forward, which is I'm impressed with. I mean, he hasn't backed up, but just a little bit, except right when he takes those shots.
Oh my God! Okay,
yeah,
this
was going to do it right there. Dave's going to put a stop to this one with 1:36 remaining in round number 1. Boy, oh boy, that was a big right hand by Chris York, and boy, he's still mad.
Man, he's mad. He got the W, and he's still mad.
All right, well, the Marine Chris York, hopefully, we didn't get to hear what he had to say before his fight, but hopefully we get to hear why he's so mad in his post-fight interview here.
I'd like to know.
The inquiring minds would like to know. This post-fight interview brought to you by Aztec Highway. Get it your way at the highway. WDFA.
You took some shots, my man. I got to tell you, though, and I'm sitting over there by your mom, and she's having a hard time. She's probably more beat up right now than you are. It was tough for her, but, I mean, this is what we do. I mean, this is what we do. Why do we do this?
Adrenaline rush.
It is, isn't it? It's a lot of fun. Drayden Rupe, I really like the hell out of you. I hope we get you back in here and do this again, and I want to see you get a big W next time, my man.
I know I need one.
It's due. We'll get you, man. We'll get it going.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Tyler Ayers Law Firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555.
Tell me, you didn't find any different. You just were just as scrappy as the last two I've seen you in. What do you plan on doing next?
Same thing. Just bringing the pain.
Okay, well then when do you plan on doing that? You want to fight every week you can?
Yes, sir. Huh? Yes, sir.
You got a shout out to anybody right now? You're really excited?
I just want to say to my friend Mitch, rest in peace, brother. You are missed. We love you. And my best friend Coulter, you're a bag.
Man, oh man, Gary, the Marine can throw some leather.
Yeah, that guy, you know, I talked to him at the preview of the weigh-ins, and he definitely said he was going to bring it, he was going to swing, he was going to knock the guy out. He's got a lot of explicit words, though, but he did knock the guy out.
He swears a lot. But not going to say, Drayden Rupe showed a lot of heart, man, a lot of character, took a lot of big shots, but in the end, the Marine did it. He was just a little bit too much for him. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. In your light heavyweight division, you got a couple more guys that we have seen before. Brian Seguanza, man, he got steamrolled the last time he was in here by one of the Now brothers. But he's back, man. That tells a lot about him. He says, I'm coming back and I'm going to do it. Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Dalton, who's an independent fighter. And, you know, the guy says he's going to bring the leather. He did say that he's quite a scrapper. We're going to have to check this out.
He's a bit of an ornery cuss tonight, too. I've seen him yelling at everybody tonight. Let's see what he's going to do inside the cage. Light heavyweight, no holds barred. Check it out.
Better not yell at you, Sal.
I tell you what, I just get my feelings hurt if he does, Mikey.
Brian Seguanza, man. I said it in the intro there. It takes a lot to get in here and fight, but it takes a lot more to get in here and fight after getting your trash kicked the first time.
The guy's got some war wounds, and you know what? It just made him even more motivated to get back in here and do it again.
I like it. I like it a lot. 6'1", 203 is Brian Seguanza. But man, the Hurricane comes in taunting with a little slash of the throat action there. Sal, what do you think of that?
I don't know, man. Does he know what he's getting himself into with the Savage? No related to Macho Man Randy Savage.
Got Brett Michaels' hairpiece on. 5'10". 193 is Jaysen Dalton. He's giving the stinky eye there, Sal.
Oh, man, this guy's angrier than an Arab in the airport, Mike.
Can you say that? I don't even know what that, I don't know what that means, Salvador.
Go America. Here we go.
Well,
round one starts off with some action.
Changing the subject there, Sal. I'll tell you what,
these guys
is some action right here. These guys are both pounding away with the right hand. Not a bit of left hand in there, either one of them.
I'll tell you, these guys are swinging like Jose Canseco back when he was on the juice, Mike.
That was better than the first one-liner you just had.
I think I might not get in trouble for that one, unless Jose's listening. Jose
or
always likes
some juice advocates out there are going to get upset.
Oh, yeah, they might get mad.
All right, Seguanza winding up on top here and has Jaysen Dalton pinned up against the cage. You know, Jaysen Dalton, he's been kind of bragging to me a little bit about how he's been in the weight room and he's a lot stronger. He said you're going to see a much stronger version of me this go round than you did last time. But, you know, once you get in that bad position, I don't care how strong you are, it doesn't really help.
Yeah, I tell you what, you can lift all the weights in the world, Mike, but if you do not know your jiu-jitsu, you're not going to get a guy like this off of you.
You know, and Seguanza really hasn't even tried to improve his position from that half mount. You know, it doesn't, I was just about to question whether he knew better position, but he does. He steps over in that position, and now Jaysen Dalton's really in trouble.
Oh, yeah, he's in trouble from here, Mike. There's really not a lot you can do, and I think it's only a matter of time before Dave gets in here and puts an end to this or chokes someone out himself.
Yeah. Dave was admonishing Seguanza for hitting Dalton to the back of the head, and Seguanza has made the adjustments. Now he's just pounding away at the face and head, side of the head, and that's about going to do it. What's going on tonight, Sal?
That's all she wrote, man, and the Savage is victorious.
I think Dave Selstad's got a hot date tonight or something, ending these fights early.
Yeah, and, you know, he's on his best behavior tonight. I don't know what's going on.
I haven't seen him hit anybody. Crowd's loving it, though. They like that little flurry there, and Brian Savage Seguanza coming back from a loss and looking very good tonight.
That's what I like to see, Mike. I like to see these guys come out, and if they take a licking, they come back twice as strong, and that's exactly what Brian the Savage Seguanza did tonight.
This post-fight interview brought to you by Impact Guns, bringing out the big guns in Salt Lake and Ogden.
Feels a lot nicer being on the winning side, doesn't it?
Hell yeah, man. I cannot explain this feeling right now.
You can't even stand still, man. You're feeling so good. And I remember the last time you fought, you lost, and you were such a gentleman about it. I was happy to see you to get a big win tonight.
Hell yeah. Last time, it was just a poor excuse for me. My ground game had nothing. And then today, I just redeemed myself, beat in a quicker time, exact same way.
All right, well, Brian Seguanza, you're the champ tonight, man. Go home, feel good about it, and come back and do this thing again.
Hell yeah, whenever. I'll be back next week if I can.
All right, brother, great job. Congratulations.
Thanks.
In your lightweight division, we've seen Nick Tidestrand before. It's been a little while since we have seen him. He says he's been in the gym training. Who's he going up against?
He's going against Sammy Guine. And you know, Sammy Guine fights out of, well, I don't know where he fights out of.
He fights all over the place, man. He's training with Utah top team over there with Cole Rose, and I've seen him in my gym a couple days this week, and I understand he trains with just about anybody.
I understand they call themselves the Trailer Park Style Scrappers, and you know what? They bring it Trailer Park Style, I guess.
Well, let's see what Trailer Park Style is. Lightweight nose bar, check it out.
I can tell you a little bit of that Trailer Park Style, Mike. I know Sammy on a personal level, and let me tell you something.
You've been hanging out at his trailer park?
Quite a few I have. And I'm telling you, he's like 14-0 at the trailer park.
Let's talk about Nick Tidestrand first. Calls himself the delivery man. Been fighting in the UCE for a couple of years now. We haven't seen him for a while. Maybe went on a long delivery. 5'9", 148 pounds was what he weighed in at. And now go ahead, finish your story about the trailer park ass kicking that Sammy's been administering.
Hey, he's like 15-0 in backyard boogies, Mike. And everyone was like, look, why don't you take your skills into the cage? And
are these legit backyard boogies? Have you seen them or you just heard about them?
well, not counting the 2 midgets and the 4 strippers, but other than that, I'd say he's got a pretty good record.
Okay, well, did he at least hold his own against them?
He held his own, and he held the stripper all night long.
All right, touch of the gloves, and here we go. Nick Tidestrand doesn't know he's up against a legend of the trailer park fight squad here, but he's soon to find out apparently. And right there, you saw some pretty big knees by Sammy, and they seem to find their mark. It kind of looks like Nick Tidestrand kind of curling up a little bit here.
Yeah, we'll see if he can maintain his.
Man, what have you been spending too much time in the trailer park style?
Spending too much time over there with Sammy.
Apparently. All right, these knees are starting to land with some regularity now. Sammy Gwynn, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but maybe he'll tell us after the fight. But he's landed 3 or 4 on the face of Nick Tidestrand, but those ones to the body are what I really think is starting to take their toll.
Yeah, the knees is one of the most deadliest strikes you can deliver, Mike, and I don't know if Dave's going to let this go on if he just keeps on taking these knees.
Well, I don't think Dave's going to have anything to say about it. I think Nick Tidestrand's going to be taking a nap if he takes any more of these. He's really starting to land with some big velocity. Now it looks like this fight is probably numbered. This fight's about over.
Oh, man, the trailer park choke, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the backhanded tap, though. I was a little impressed with that.
Well, Sammy comes up with the W in the cage.
All right, well, see old Aaron Sawyer, the head of the trailer park, coming in to congratulate him. And Aaron's been working with Sammy a little bit this last week, and maybe he taught him those moves. Who knows? Who knows? All right, long red. Sammy Nguyen win tonight against Nick Tidestrand, and he looked pretty good in his first time to the cage.
Via trailer park choke.
Get name brand clothing at ridiculously low prices at Big Rock Clothing Company, 1003 West, 3160 South.
How you feeling, man? You took a couple big knees to the head. You all right, brother?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Nothing a couple cold beers ain't gonna take care of?
Yeah. That rear naked choke, man, that's a son bitch to get out of, you know?
Yeah, he put it on, it was on pretty tight, and I knew it was just a matter of time once that thing got sunk in there. What's next for you? It's been a little while since we've seen you in the cage. Is there going to be another long delay before we see you again, or what's going? You're looking over there to his little lady over there to tell him what's going on.
Well, I'm gonna have to take a break because my wife is gonna have our second baby here.
You've been putting on some rear naked chokes of your own, haven't you?
You know it.
All right. Well, apparently you know how to put them on, just like you know how to get them. Tonight you were good. Just not good enough. You're always a good sport, man. Thanks for being a part of the experience, brother.
No, thank you.
This post-fight interview brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
I'm standing here with an obvious scrapper from, they say, the trailer park, Utah Top Teams, Sammy Gwynn. Dude, that was a bad choke. Are you usually choking people out?
I don't like to. I'd rather punch it out, but kind of overwhelmed me at first. I just had to do what I could do.
Yeah, you got a little blood on your lip. I don't think that's from you. Is that from him?
I don't know.
All right, well, you know what? You said in the preview interview over at the weigh-ins at Batters Up that you're going to take it to him. You did. You took a lot of knees to him. What's going on with your knee strikes there?
Well, I said I was going to hit him with elbows and rub him in, but I couldn't get an elbow. He had my hand, so I had to use my legs.
You know, there's anybody right now you want to shout out to? Anybody you appreciate bringing you here?
I want to say thanks to Mike Stidham, my corners, Aaron Sawyer, and Sugarloaf. And then my buddy Cole Rose, he's going to be fighting last. And then my sister and my girlfriend came out.
All right. So, thanks for coming out. We really enjoyed watching the fight, and we hope to see you real soon.
Thank you.
You know, we heard a lot about this Sammy guy, and now he held up to everything we heard about him.
Yeah, we had no idea what to expect here. We saw a lot of knees. He wanted to throw elbows, he said, but he didn't get an elbow in because they were tied up the whole time.
That would really make me mad if I could only beat a guy down with my knees and couldn't get that elbow.
Exactly. You know what? And he threw on that choke pretty tight, almost like that's what they've been practicing in the trailer park. I had no idea they had jiu-jitsu there.
Who knew? Who knew? We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. in your featherweight division. We got a kid that, man, he used to fight all the time, and he had a real bad injury a while back when fighting, and we didn't think we'd ever see him again. This kid's got a ridiculously sick guard. He's got good stand-up. You would never peg him to be as tough as he is. I can't wait to see him come out here and do his thing. Patrick Reeves, who's he fighting?
He's fighting the right fighter. This fighter's called him out pretty hardcore, yelled at him, said, bring it on. This guy's an animal, just fought. He actually just fought Bird Dog. Got kicked in the head a lot, and you know, you're kind of telling when you look at him, his eyes have been rolling around.
Who is he?
Well, this is Kevin Hamby, of course.
All right, Kevin Hamby, Patrick Reeves, featherweight and holds bar. Check it out.
I got a little co-host there, got kicked in the head a few times too. Oh, man, Patrick Reeves, I got to tell you, you know, and we're talking a little bit about the last fight, Brian Seguanza coming back from getting his trash kicked and, you know, how much heart it takes. This guy really, really got hurt. I mean, his face literally got caved in a fight, and he's back. So, you know, a lot of Purple Heart Award winners tonight. 5'9", 140 is punishing Pat Reeves. I love this kid.
No, I'm not really too pissed. I just want to get home. Got a long drive ahead of me. I'm kind of hoping my opponent makes weight, you know. I don't want to have a bunch of people show up just to not be able to fight. It's been a while since I got in the cage, you know. I'm not a novice at this either, you know. Sometimes people don't make weight. I've had it happen to me time and time again, so. Training at Westside, I learn everything. I got to learn wrestling. We got really good wrestlers up there. I have to learn Jiu Jitsu. I have to learn Muay Thai and work on my stand-up. I took the fight at kind of a quick notice, but I still no slouch. I don't just sit around and not train. I teach people up there. I'm always working on it. So I'm not really a talker. I let what I do the talking. You know, so. I just appreciate my opponent for showing up and trying to lose the weight, and good luck, and thank you, Mike, and the whole crowd for the experience of being able to do it.
Those days we're gonna get him to say something mean.
Yeah, Patrick.
Probably not anytime soon. Not like the mean things we were thinking about his hairdo, right?
I wasn't going to say nothing, Mike, but...
that is a pretty bad hairdo, man.
I like it. Patrick, I like it.
All right, Kevin Hamby, 5'7", 140. Talk about stinky face, man. This guy, he's just an unhappy little individual.
What is he mad about, Mike?
Well, I came in about 4 pounds overweight, and instead of my opponent just letting me have it, and he had to be a douchebag and make me run it off, so I've been running for the last hour and a half. So who am I fighting again? Douchebag Reeves? Is that it? Yeah, douchebag Reeves. Well, I was asking Mike to find me an opponent at 145. I didn't know he was gonna freaking pull Big Bird off of Sesame Street. This kid's walking around at 140 pounds and he's 6'5". He should be playing basketball and might be trying to get in the cage with an animal. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. Like always, I'm up at the UTCT, training with Mike, perfecting my game in every aspect of the MMA, my jiu-jitsu, my stand-up, but mainly my stand-up thanks to Mike Stedham. If I do get kicked in the head, which I won't, I take the kick and stand right back up and knock him out.
Kevin Hamby's been practicing his stand-up comedy.
You know, I was about to say, I'm vote for Kevin Hamby. Hank Weiss is out. Kevin Hamby is in.
No, there will never be another Hank Weiss, my man. There is only one. And Kevin Hamby ain't it. All right, drop the gloves here. And Pat Reeves, I'm just saying, you talked all that smack about this kid, but I'm just telling you, this kid can fight.
Oh, yeah. You better not be laid out by Patrick at the end of the night, because...
Pat's got a good stand-up. He's got good kicks. He's got good feet. He's a decent wrestler, but his jiu-jitsu is exceptional. He's got a very good guard. And, you know, you just think you took Pat Reeves down? No, you didn't. Pat Reeves just made you think that.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier before the match started, Mike, Patrick Reeves been around for quite some time now, hasn't he?
He has been, and he's fought some of the toughest guys around. You know, he's certainly no stranger to this game. But right here, I'm just telling you, you don't get lulled into some false sense of security that you're on top of Pat Reeves hitting him, because you can see right now what he's doing.
Oh, yes, he's climbing up that back, something real nice, and he's being real crafty about it. He's got that arm down. He's climbing coming up the back, and I'm just wondering if the animal knows what's going on right now. Why would you stay in someone's guard like that?
I'll tell you, I had this conversation with the animal for the last 2 days. You don't think Pat Reeves feels all that strong, so you feel confident in there, and this is what happens. and this is what happens when you try to slam him out of a triangle choke. You just made it tighter.
He just cinched that triangle choke.
And he's going to put you to sleep.
Oh, and he's already doing the tap dance. Unbelievable.
All that smack you talked, and that's it.
Oh, man.
Wow. You know, you just called the guy Big Bird, and he's giving you a hug.
Well, you know what? He took those Big Bird legs and wrapped them right around that jugular of his, Mike.
Look at that right there. This kid, man, is...
Oh, he just stole my move.
Yeah, I've seen you do that a few times at parties, man. It was awesome.
Patrick Reeves with the W.
Well, Kevin Hamby's just kind of stunned right now.
He's got to be mad.
Now he's going to show I'm going to be a poor sport, too. I got this new tan for nothing.
It's the hairdo, Mike. What was I telling you? The power's in his hair.
I ain't going to lie, man. I'm starting to like that.
Oh, my God. Kimbo Slice in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not Kimbo Slice. That is Mark from Westside Jiu Jitsu, and he can teach some Jiu Jitsu. He's put out some studs, just like punishing Pat Reeves and that beautiful hairdo.
Oh, man, I was going to go call Kimbo on.
You don't want to call on Mark, man. That dude could twist you up.
Oh, Patrick with the W tonight. I don't know. The animal can't be feeling too good about this.
The animal's being a poor sport. Tyler Ayers Law Firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555.
Hamby, you seem a little pissed off. What's going on?
Well, there's nothing worse than I told you so's, especially coming from Mike Stedham.
I told you, Kevin, this guy's got a ridiculous guard. I mean, don't, under any circumstances, think that you're going to punch him and be successful, because he will triangle choke you, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I knew what move he was going for and everything. I felt it coming.
Well, that's what I told you would happen. You're going to know, and you're going to think, and then he's going to do it.
I stood up, and I didn't think it was on as tight as it was. I thought I'd come down, punch him one more time, and stand up and try to scoot out. And
which is exactly what I told you was going to. You're not going to think it's on, and then it's on. That kid's pretty good. So, Kevin, you're a good fighter, and you know, sometimes, I guess, the fact that you're a little bit mad right now, I kind of like. I think that's good. You're emotional about it. That means you care. So, fix the problems. You know, come back and do it again, my man.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep training, keep working on my jiu-jitsu, my stand-up, and be a better fighter and put on a better show every time I come back.
Okay, well, here's the beauty of it. We talked about this. We're gonna do the featherweight belt tournament coming up here shortly, and I'm sure Patrick Reeves is gonna want to be in that tournament. I know you're gonna want to be in that tournament. You're gonna have a chance at redemption, and we're gonna be doing it for the belt. So do your homework and come back and do it again.
Yeah, that's right. The featherweight 145-pound tournament of champions is coming up, and I'm taking that belt home. No one's getting lucky on me this time.
You can't call out something like that after getting beat, but you just do your homework, go and do your thing, and come back and do it again, my man. Tonight you were good, but just not good enough. Come back and do it again.
This post-fight interview brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
We've got Punishing Pat here. Punishing Pat has shown us what happens when you pick somebody up while you're in a triangle choke and then they slam you down. It just tightens up. Yeah. That was a great display of that. What's going on with your jiu-jitsu? It's pretty bad.
You know, I came in this fight, I knew he was going to have strength on me. Good chance he's going to have, you know, conditioning on me. I kind of took this fight. I had a lot of changes in my life right now. I felt like this is something I need, you know. I enjoy the crowd. I enjoy being a rock star for the night, coming out. Most of all, putting a good fight on for you guys, you know. Maybe next time it'll be a little bit longer. I'll be able to enjoy it a little bit more and let you guys enjoy it a little bit more. You know, he's a good cat. He was strong. I actually went with a game plan for once, which I don't never do. A fight's a fight usually.
Yeah.
I just tried to wear him down a little bit, hold on, and hope he would try to punch his way out, which will get you put in a triangle or an arm bar, you know?
You bet. Hey, when I interviewed you earlier yesterday in the weigh-ins, you actually said nothing bad about him, nothing bad about what you do. I tried to get you to talk a little smack, and once again, I hear no smack talking. He kind of got put into his place now. Say something like, what's up, or whatever.
All I got to do is say, hey, thank you, you know, thank you for the fight. I appreciate it. It's, you know, I've had my share of bad luck, and and bad losses. You know, most of all, I want to thank Westside. I want to thank my family. I started praying lately. I want to thank God. And I want to thank all of you guys for showing up and enjoying it, having a beer and watching us all fight. Without you, this sport's nothing.
Oh, I love your style, man. You know what? You actually are the classy sportsmanship type of guy we're looking for to fight a little bit more often. Will you come back next week or the week after?
Probably, maybe the week after. I got some conditioning to do, but what do you guys think? Do you want to see me come back and fight again? Thank you, thank you. It means very much to me, thank you.
We really appreciate it, thank you, bud.
Pat Reeves is a good guy, just an all-around good guy, and I hear that kind of talk sometimes from people, and it just seems a little bit, you know, like their words. You don't get that sense from Patrick. Everything he says, I mean, it's coming from the heart. And the kid's a tough kid, man. I really enjoy watching him fight, and he is sneaky in that guard.
Yeah, you know what? That's the actual kind of talk that brings all the girls out to the club. They want to watch a fighter scrap, but be humble and nice.
Very nice. And Pat Reeves did his thing tonight. Very, very nice. I'm looking forward to that featherweight tournament. I think Pat Reeves got to be one of the odds-on favorites for that. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. It is time for your main event, and I got to tell you, my favorite all-time fighter, Hank the Vice Weiss, and I've got this, I don't know, you would call it a man crush on the guy, whatever. Everything about him, I just love the dude, man. He's bad. He's fun to watch, man. He's just a good guy. Who is he? Who dares step in the cage with the Ice?
Well, I'll tell you who dares to step in the cage. Once again, we've got a trailer park fighter, they say. This guy is Cole Rose. They call him the headhunter. With the way he takes off people's heads when he hits them, I see where he got his nickname from, Mike.
It's easier said than done taking off Hank Weiss's head. I'm just telling you, this is going to be a good fight. It's your main event, light heavyweight kickboxing. Check it out.
Now, Hank Weiss is so bad, we got to make up funny rules for people to fight him, but look at Cole Rose, man, what a knucklehead.
He is the headhunter, Mike, and he's been hunting heads since we was like 14 years old, and that's no lie.
Well, you know, he has been, and Cole Rose been around for a little while. He started Utah top team over there in his garage. 5'9", 196 pounds is Cole Rose, and this guy, man, he just really needs no introduction here.
Lord Vice, V Ice, Hank the Vice.
All of that.
The list goes on.
5'11", 204 is Hank Weiss, training down there with Bent Ring Jiu Jitsu, and this is my favorite part of the fight.
Yes.
Hank will nose up to you and start telling you about your little sister. And
oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't give a darn, I tell you that.
All right. It's not often we have a kickboxing match as our main event, but as you can see, these are two quasi-legends of the sport here, and they're willing to put on the big fluffy gloves to make it entertaining for you because, quite frankly, if this was an MMA match, Hank probably would have twisted up old Cole Rose already.
Yeah, he'd be grabbing on one of Cole's toes right about now.
Yeah, a little back and forth action here. Looks like Cole Rose getting the better of that exchange.
Oh,
throw a
good knee.
I thought they were just kickboxing. Maybe there's a little Muay Thai action going on here.
Huh? I tell you what, on paper, you put two guys like this up, and on paper, Cole Rose knocked Hank Weiss out first round every time, but you can't count Hank Weiss out. I mean, he's got knockouts against guys that you'd have no idea he should have even been fighting standing up with those guys, Mike.
Yeah. And Hank's the one that doesn't want the big fluffy gloves on here. We've done a few fights recently where both fighters have agreed to do stand-up only, but they wore the MMA gloves. Well, Cole said his hands were a little sore from the last fight he did that way. He wanted the big gloves, and right here so far it looks like, you know, Cole's landed some shots that maybe he wished he didn't have those big gloves on.
Yeah. Well, the fight he's talking about, I believe, is the Sugarloaf fight when
he kept bouncing his knuckles off Sugarloaf's head, and
yeah,
that'll hurt anybody's fists.
It was a heyday. Hank's also fought Sugarloaf
recently with the same kind of rules, and that's why this matchup kind of made sense here. Both of them beat Sugarloaf rather decisively. Sugar held his own against both of them, but they both looked decisively better, and that's why this fight seems to make sense.
Cole with another right. Left hook combination is money.
So far making more sense for Cole Rose. I really think Cole Rose is winning this first round, landed some pretty decent shots. I've seen Hank kind of do vintage Hank. He likes to draw you in. He likes to play possum. He likes to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, these are only 2-minute rounds here. This is kickboxing. You don't really have time for all of that.
And that is the truth, Mike. That's going to throw Hank's game off a little bit because he is more of, you know, the kind of weight and stalk his prey type fighter. But with 2-minute rounds, just like you said, you just can't afford to be messing around in there at all.
And with a 10-point must system, you got to believe right there, Cole Rose ahead, 10-9 after round number 1.
Clearly 10-9 round.
When was the last time we saw Hank Weiss down on the judges' scorecards, if ever, in this show?
I don't think I've ever seen Hank down unless he was down on the ground giving someone a jiu-jitsu clinic.
Yeah, exactly. So touch of the gloves and round number 2 underway, and Hank has to know he's got to pick things up here from a tempo standpoint here in the second round.
I haven't seen Hank throw any of them heavy leg kicks. If you look back at the Mafu Fosta fight, Hank went in there and he just brought 2 Louisville sluggers in there with him and took them to Mafu's legs the whole time.
He sure did. You know, the one thing that I see that Hank does when he throws those leg kicks, he drops his hands, and that's the second time he's gone to the inside leg kick to the rear leg, and both times dropped his hands, and Cole Rose happy to smack him in his face.
I tell you what, you don't drop your hands if you're going up against a guy called Headhunter.
Yeah, probably pretty sound advice there.
But Hank trying to mix it up. Cole throws a leg kick himself.
It's some good back and forth stuff, but you know, I'm seeing ones and twos now. I think even Cole has slowed his pace down just a little bit. Had a very aggressive pace. I think that's what won him the first round, but I think he needs to get back to that to continue the dominance here, and so far not so much here in the second round.
Yeah, really not so much. I think Cole maybe caught a breather after the first round and realized, you know, Hank's going to fight a slower type fight. I'm going to get a little bit more technical, maybe try and pick him apart a little bit this round.
But I don't know, putting too much thinking into the fight game is kind of scary sometimes, but especially with Hank, you're never going to outsmart the guy inside the cage. But I think just keep that flurried pace up if you can, and that's the key to winning a kickboxing match here.
Yes, or actually a key to winning Hank. When you keep the pressure on, look, you get Hank get in his zone, you let him put you in his fight, and there's no hope for you. You press the action, you know what I mean? You get him off his game plan and do it in there, go do what you want to do. And that's probably my best advice into being a guy like Hank.
Well, you know, Cole becoming a little more systematic here in the second round, but he still has landed more. Oh, that was a pretty decent kick. Looks like it almost got up there. Couldn't tell from this angle if he landed that or not. But, you know, Cole has landed more effective shots. Not a whole lot more, but I think slightly more. And, again, with the 10-point must system, that's all you got to do.
Another 10-9 round, perhaps?
Possibly, but, you know, you have to realize these are still the same judges that see Hank Weiss come in here, and you got to beat the champion. You got to take it away from him. Who knows what's going on in their heads, but all I know is one of these guys has run one more round to turn things around. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, Hank Weiss and Cole the Headhunter Rose are mixing it up here in a kickboxing match to entertain you for your main event. And On our very unofficial scorecards, Salvador Sanchez, we have Cole Rose. Both of us, I believe, have Cole Rose out 2 rounds to 1.
That's what I got on my scorecard, Mike.
Ooh, nice
but, you know,
there.
like you brought up earlier last round, these judges see Hank almost on a weekly basis. The fans see Hank almost on a weekly basis. And when you got a fighter with that kind of stature, the last thing you want this fight to do is to go to the judges.
Yeah, you know, because, and I'll tell you, in my book, Hank walks on water, man. I love him. I'm a huge fan, and it'd be hard for these judges not to be at least somewhat of a fan of his. He's just such that kind of guy. You know, there's always that human factor, and you just never know. I think Cole has to be that much cleaner and has to be that much better to get a victory here.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think he knows he does too, Mike. I think that's maybe why he's really picking Hank apart this round, and you know, he really wants to put an exclamation point at the end of this fight.
Yeah, I think that's important for him. Again, I think it would be very hard to argue that he didn't win the first round, Cole Rose, that is. You know, and then if you're going up against that whole mythological God factor in the second round there, it's somewhat questionable. So round number 3 here really is, you know, something that I think it's important for Cole to come out here, make a statement, and say, look, I'm winning this fight, and it's going to be mine unquestioned.
Oh, yeah, because for all we know, the judges have it 1 round apiece.
Who knows? Who knows? I still think Cole's up ahead by 2 rounds. But, you know, you just never can tell.
You know, Hank brought out a big head kick at the beginning of this round. I'd like to see more of that at the end of it. There we go again.
Yeah. You know,
that's how you steal the round.
I'd like to see him do is follow that, though. I mean, landing head kicks is great, but, you know, if you can come down and after kicking somebody in the head and land them with 3 or 4 punches, you can actually end a fight that way.
Oh, yeah. It is obvious Hank's a little out of his element on this one with the gloves, because Hank would easily throw 2 or 3 spinning head kicks and then just grab your leg, take you down, anaconda choke you or something.
Well, that's going to do it right there. 3 rounds in the books, and now it is up to the judges to decide who has won this one. And, you know, it's anybody's ball game. You can see right there, Hank Weiss is tired, and people don't realize this stand-up fighting is very fatiguing in mixed martial arts, especially if you're good like Hank. You can hold somebody down and get a breather, not so much here. Let's hear what the judges have to say about this. Well, there you go. There was a split decision, so apparently one of those rounds was given to Hank Weiss. But on the other 2 judges' scorecards, all 3 rounds went to your winner, the headhunter, Cole Rose, looking very good tonight.
All right, Hank. Well, you know, I always said I never have to interview Hank. He just kind of does his own thing. Hank, talk to me. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
Well, I'm pretty embarrassed, but, you know, it's hard for me to get going on my feet, and I'm not really ticked off that I lost, just ticked off at, I think I had more, and I guess that's why I'm doing this, you know, kickboxing, because I am pretty gun shy. I'm not really comfortable there, but I think I gained some, so I'm not going to hang my head too low. I mean, I think I'll gain some confidence out of it a little bit.
Well, you know, Cole Rose can bang. He can throw some shots. And to me, I was sitting back watching, and Cole was the guy who wanted the big gloves. And if he didn't have the big gloves, I think it probably would have been more to his advantage, because he was landing some big shots tonight. What do you think about that?
No, I would wait. I'd go back and fight with the smaller gloves any day. So like I said, I'm just gaining a little confidence in here. And honestly, in all the stand-up fights that I've had, like maybe my last 4 or 5 been stand-up, I haven't been real shell-shocked. Like, no punches really hurt me, and so I got a little bit of confidence from that. I mean, I'm a lousy boxer, no doubt, but no, I'd rather have the little gloves.
And this is
I'm not the one who's bleeding, so.
Well, good point. But this is really. You know, I don't know if a lot of people understand that, you know, he's taking stand-up fights here because that's your weakness. That's what people say you lack in skill, and you take those fights as a means to round your game out. Do you feel like it's advanced as a result?
It has majorly, for sure. I mean, you know, 6 months ago, I wouldn't have thought I had a prayer to stand up in this cage, even with, you know, boxing gloves on with Cole. And I mean, he won the fight and he outclassed me, but I didn't really feel I wasn't too hurt or anything, so I have some confidence from that.
Well, I guess, victory is taken in many different ways. And, Hank, first of all, anytime I can get you in the cage, I'm going to do it. I don't care if it's a thumb wrestling contest. I'm going to get you here. Much love to you, man. Tonight you were good, just not good enough. Thanks for being here and doing what you do.
All right, thanks a lot. I want to thank my family, and then, of course, Czech City. They buy gold.
If you got it.
Even gold teeth. Come in here and fight. Get it knocked out, go down. Get some cash for it.
All right, brother. Thanks for being a part of the Ultimate Combat Experience. Cole Rose, get over here, man.
Get name brand clothing at ridiculously low prices at Big Rock Clothing Company, 1003 West, 3160 South.
You know what? I feel very, very honored to stand next to a guy that just beat Hank Weiss. I have not seen this before. I don't care if you have big gloves or not. Hank Weiss is a stand-up fighter. Regardless, you have just conquered the animal. He's bad, but you're better, dog. How's that feel?
That feels good. I was actually honored to fight Hank. I took it on pretty short notice, and chance to fight Hank, I took it real quick. He beat me in his world. We did a grappling tournament a couple years back. He spanked me, so I had to get this win in my world, so it feels good.
You know what? Let me tell you something. We've watched you fight lately. It's an honor, actually, to know all your team so far. I'm not really sure what this trailer park team is all about, but all I know is that I don't want to hang out in that trailer park and talk any smack whatsoever. What's going on? What's next for you? When's your next fight? And what are you going to do different to just show off a little bit more?
Next fight's just whenever you guys give me a call. Probably next time I'll do an MMA match. Gonna work on my ground game a little bit, maybe my cardio, because it's pretty bad. I haven't really been training too hard at the trailer lately. Spend a lot of time with my beautiful wife instead.
Yeah. You know what, Cole, I hope that we all get to celebrate tonight. I see a lot of blood in this ring right now, probably more blood than I've seen in this ring ever before, and I've been to hundreds of fights. You know, what's gonna happen with your jiu-jitsu game that's gonna get you to fight him with a full MMA battle?
Probably about 10 years of jiu-jitsu. That's about it. Other than that, I'll be good. I'll wait till he's like 46 or something. I'm cool with that.
You want to shout out to anybody, Cole? You definitely deserve it.
Yeah, first is my beautiful wife. Couldn't do it without her. Without her, I'd be half crazy. I got to thank all the guys at the trailer park, Sammy and Nick, my corners. I got Sugarloaf and the Destroyer, Aaron Sawyer. And I got to thank Bleed Out Fight Apparel. Always hooking me up, paying for memberships, whatever I need. Thanks to Jaysen.
Hey, listen, I don't care if it's, as I said, tiddlywinks. Beating Hank Weiss is a big deal.
That's all you know what, the headhunter has stepped up his game, and he's humbly said that 10 years it would take for him to actually fight him fully.
You know, and Hank was very, he's lying when he says he's not mad that he lost. I mean, he's very much a competitor, and you could tell it bugged him. He didn't like losing at anything, but he conceded that he did lose tonight. I think that Hank would love to come back and do that again.
I don't really think there's any losers here, and you can always tell when he's really bummed out, even though he says that he's not, is when he actually doesn't explode into some kind of prophecy.
That is true. All right, good night of fights. I mean, there were a lot of quick fights tonight, but there was a lot of action in those fights, and when you come up to Ogden, you never know what to expect.
Now, you know what? There's a lot of brawlers up here. It always makes me nervous when I walk in here because I look the way I do. These guys just want to hit me. It's like being Inferno, actually.
You are one punchable kind of guy. We got more of the Ultimate Combat next week. For Gotcha Back Gary, I'm Mike Stidham. We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Experience.